Last weekend, I got up early to hop on a plane to fly from Vermont to Virginia for a wild horse and burro adoption event. If you follow my channel, you know I try to go to as many of these adoption events as I can. I'm hoping to go to a couple others later this year, but this one was to Doswell, Virginia, and I was trying to do this trip all in a day, so I'd be flying back later that night. Right, I have just arrived in time for there's an auction in a few minutes, so I'm just gonna check out the horses real quick. Now, this event had a lot going on. If you've never been to a Mustang adoption, this video will help give you an idea of what to expect and also share some tips along the way. First of all, this was a pickup site for an online corral, which is an online auction. I'll talk more about that later. There would also be an in-person auction, followed by the remaining horses being available at a first-come, first-served basis. Basically, this means if you show up to an adoption event wanting to bring home a Mustang, some of the horses that you might see are not actually available for adoption because they've been adopted through the online corral and are here to get picked up by their adopters. If you search BLM adoption and sale events, you'll see all the different events for the year, including the format that they're in, whether it's an auction or first come, first serve. This event kicked off with a morning of pickups for the online corral as well as a viewing time before the public auction. I had arrived a few minutes before the auction began as people were starting to gather by the first pen. My flight was actually 20 minutes early, so I was glad to be able to make it on time. Alright, that bay is cute. It was now time for the auction to begin. One by one, they went through each of the horses that was available for adoption. Those that didn't get any bids would continue to be available on a first-come, first-served basis.
Okay. The animals we have here from multiple HMAs from Nevada, California, some Wyoming's in here. You guys have had more than enough time to walk around and look at the pens. This format is very, very simple. I will go around to each pen, read it right off of this card here, and whatever animal is available, I'll call it out. So the first one's going to be 9071, one-year-old female, red roan from California. I'll give you the HMA, which is Twin Peaks. And we will start it at 125, and we will go from there. Once the bid is complete for each individual animal, we will write it down here. We will take the bidder ID, which is on your card, and also like the price, net tag, make sure that we're square away. If you're not loaded today, we will keep your paperwork until you come back. Here, Kimo Red Roman California Twin Peaks HMA. 9071. Anybody got that on the paper? Going once? Got one here? Anybody else? 125, you got it. Congratulations. One-year-old filly, red roan from Nevada, Calico Mountain, HMA. Anybody got that written down? Once. Twice. Moving on. The first one's going to be 2560. 3-year-old gelding buckskin from Nevada, Antelope Valley HMA. 2560. Got one here. Here. Anybody else? 2560. Good? 125. Got here 135, 130. 130, 135. 140. 150. 160. 170. 170. 160, you got it, sir. Okay, 3643. I mean, this pinto right here. Short pinto. 3-year-old filly, Pine Nut Mountain, California. Okay? We should probably have some folks on this one. 3643. Ready to go? Yeah. 125 back there. 150. 175. 175. 200. 300. 300 back here, 350, 350, 335, 335, 400. We'll say 400, 400, 450, 450, 435, 475, 475 here, 500. 500 back here, 500. You're out now. Okay, 500. 1.
Color, size, and conformation will often drive a Mustang's price up. This pinto also seems to have a lovely disposition, and that is also desired. She was pretty brave to walk right up to a wall of people. She'd probably be a really fun horse to work with.
We'll be heading on around to pen 6. We're going to have 4 available in this pen. We're going to start with 3381, 4-year-old silly gray one out of Wyoming out of Doswell. 3381. Give that one right there. I'll give you all a minute so we can get caught up. 3381. The light gray, looking at it right. I'll give you all a minute. Right here in the middle. She's kind of high. 3381. Everybody good? You got to take it on 3381. One, twice. Moving on. 3303, 6-year-old bay mare out of Adobe Town, Wyoming. 3303, right here in front of her face. 3303. Anybody? One, twice. Moving on. 3360, 6-year-old mare, gray out of Wyoming, so it'll be the other gray here. 3360. Yeah, black mane and tail, right there. 3360. Anybody? One. Twice. Moving on. 3351. 4-year-old filly, bay, Wyoming out of Adobe Town. 3351, right here. Anybody on that one? 3351. Okay, now the big thing. It's 5735. She does not have a neck tag on. Right here. 7-year-old bay mare out of Eagles Grass. You got one here now? Two. Right here. Okay. Good. You ready? 125 in there, so 140. 150. 160. 170. 180. 190, 200, 2 1/4, 250, 275, 250. That 3-year-old Kelly Brown, high basin Wyoming, 2327. Black. 2327. Anybody? We got one. 1327. Anybody else? 125.
As you can see, one of the Mustangs in this pen had Appaloosa coloring, which you don't see very often. As a bonus, it also had pretty good height, too. This was one of the horses that was won in the online corral, so was not available for this auction. The online corral is great for adopters who are looking for something specific, such as color or height, or just wants a reassurance that if they go to an adoption event, there is something that will go home with them. Next up was this big dun gelding, which was only 2 years old, so was going to keep getting bigger.
Got one. Right here. Got two. Got three. Got four. Right? We're all in this? Okay. Here we go. $150, 175, 175, 200. 200, 200. 250. 250 here, 275. 300. 300, 3/4, 3/4 over here, 350, 350, 375, 375 over here, 400, 400, 4/4, 450, 450, 475, 550, 550, 575, 575, 575, 600, 600, 6 1/4, 6 1/4. One, twice. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9.
While I was standing here, this baby captured my attention. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
At this point, I got a little distracted by the babies. They've been going through quite a list of horses. This yearling had beautiful primitive markings, a dorsal stripe and also leg stripes, which I absolutely love.
Hi, baby.
Going once. Going twice. 7660, 1-year-old Gelding Buckskin at Twin Peaks, California. 7660, 1-year-old Gelding Buckskin at Twin Peaks, California. 150, 175. 300, 340, 350, 400, 140, 450, 500, 500, 664, okay. 7, 7 got it. 8, 8 and 4. 8 and 4. You got it. 800.
800. $800, baby. Yeah.
Hi, baby. Oh, so precious. So precious. Hi, baby. No? You're so special.
She's performing.
7705.
There you
1-year-old Bay Billy out of Twin Peaks, California, HMA. 7705. Can't get any better than this, folks. It's right here. Right. Let y'all see. 7705. You got anybody on that? Yes. 7705. Anybody?
Fast.
I know, I'm like, I won't know. How come you can't leave that one? That was, you can pet it in there.
Which one was that?
7705. That,
You know which one it is.
it has like a half moon and a star on it. It's right over here. But I mean, it was coming up to kids because it had 2 kids were petting at the same time.
6849. Right there. Right. 6849. It's all dark. 6849. Right there. Red neck tag, the whole nine. Just walked away. Anybody interested now? 6849. 10-year-old Gelding Brown. Anybody want? Twice. Moving on. 7102. It's 2-year-old Jenny Brown at Twin Peaks.
All right, so the auction just ended and loading is starting to pick up right now. So I'm gonna walk through and really just look through the horses because I haven't really had a chance. There's been one yearling I've fallen in love with, but I haven't really had a chance to look at them. So we're gonna go and check them out now. Oh, somebody's tired. Hi. Hi. You look so tired. Oh, baby. Big yawns. One more. Oh. So now that the auction's over, the remaining available horses are available on a first-come, first-served basis for $125. Here, one of the adopted horses was getting ready to load and go to its new home. Adopting a Mustang is a big endeavor. Though they may be $125 to bring home, the cost of the facility and caring for them is much more. If you don't have the appropriate facility, knowledge, skills, and experience, adopting a Mustang can be very dangerous. It's important to be honest with yourself if you're ready to adopt a Mustang. I have a video with all sorts of questions to ask before you adopt, so check that out in the description below. So that's what the loading process looks like. They run up to the chute onto a trailer that meets the BLM or Bureau of Land Management's adoption requirements. Like I mentioned earlier, each event might have a different format. Often on the East Coast, we tend to have adoptions that are first come, first serve. This was actually my first time going to an in-person auction for Mustangs, but they happen more frequently in other areas. You look very curious. This beautiful Palomino filly had an injury on her face. Watching over her was this mama mare, though not her true mother. They were from HMAs from different states. However, this pair seemed to have built a bond. It doesn't look so good, baby. You like some butt scratches? Some butt scratches? Another run of the horses was getting ready to load. This was the Pinto that was in the auction. I think It went for 500. Cute little thing. So they're slowly, slowly closing off the gates. The Pinto waited in the alley while I sorted out another horse. Now, to bring home a Mustang, adopters will have to do an application through the Bureau of Land Management. For an adult Mustang, they require 6-foot fencing, and shelter requirements vary by state. There are also trailer requirements, such as being open and a step-up trailer so the horse can travel safely. One question I get a lot is, how do you find someone to ship your Mustang if you don't have a trailer? This is something I'd recommend going to various Mustang Facebook groups for. When you ask for a referral, it can be helpful to include a general route like I've done here. This will help a hauler quickly identify if it's something that they can do. But make sure the hauler that you choose has knowledge and experience when working with unhandled Mustangs, and also be sure to check their reviews and references. If you find a good one, it can certainly save you a lot of stress. These two Mustangs were haltered before loading. The handlers worked slowly to get the halters on as quietly as they could. As you can imagine, this could be very scary for a Mustang, and some will react more than the others. My preference is to leave the horse unhaltered and work towards building its trust before introducing that milestone. This is, however, an option, and there are, of course, many opinions around this. Whether you choose to halter your Mustang in a chute, or that's something that you work up to, one thing to be aware of is the injury that the Mustang can sustain during a pullback. This might happen when teaching a horse to tie, or in some cases, when teaching a horse to lead, depending on the methods used. Although they are larger animals, they are certainly not invincible, and remember, being prey animals, they will try to mask their injuries. That's how they survive. I have a link to an interview I did with a well-known body worker, and I had asked him some questions specifically on how training methods might affect Mustangs or how Mustangs past might affect them in the future. It's very interesting, and I definitely encourage you to check it out. This baby looks like it wants to go in that tub of water. This Pinto wasn't as willing to load. In fact, it took quite a bit of time to slowly work it onto the trailer. And this is where it started getting tricky. I'm not sure how long this part took, but it was quite a while. They eventually tried adding other noises, increasing the pressure, and using the lead line. And finally, the Pinto was loaded onto the trailer. When I walked to the other end of the pens, these Mustangs were inspecting this flag. What's that? Horses are extremely curious animals, and Mustangs are the same. It's really fun when you start seeing their fear overcome by curiosity. As I mentioned earlier, many of the larger or more striking horses, like this Appaloosa here, were won on the online corral. The online corral is a week-long auction that BLM hosts multiple times throughout the year. Each online corral has a list of various pickup locations and dates for adopters to choose from. They vary with each event. I have a lot more videos on the online corral, so check them out when you have time, but there can be up to 1,000 horses on the online auctions. You'll see all kinds of colors, ages, sizes, builds, HMAs, which is the herd management area. There are 177 HMAs across 10 western states. Each HMA is unique, and therefore the horses on it are going to be unique as well. Breed influences and genetic traits will vary quite a bit from Mustang to Mustang. I personally love to see results when people do DNA testing on their Mustangs. Alright, so this is pen 1. Here you can say this OLC stands for Online Corral. Quite a few have already been picked up. There's one remaining pickup from the online corral, and the rest are available for adoption. The ones that have been scratched off have already been picked up, and the red, brown, and brown horse are still available. These clipboards outside the pens provide a good bit of information and help you to see which horses are from the online corral and which ones are available for adoption. Sometimes a horse might be in the process of getting adopted and it might not get scratched off the list, so when in doubt, always check with the BLM staff. Best I can tell from pen 4, one is available still. 2883 right here. I love that bay right there. Oh, these two have been inseparable this whole morning, or afternoon I should say. Aw, she has really banged up her face, poor thing. But they've been buddy-buddy this whole time. So precious. Are you protecting the baby? Horses are relational animals. These two, though from separate HMAs, have developed a friendship. And this bay, what a love. What a love. Hi. You pretty brave? You brave? No? Alright, so in pen 5, the first one looks like it might have been an online corral and not picked up. So it appears it's available for adoption. It's a 7-year-old mare from Nevada, Eagle, Nevada. Here she is. Alright, and it looks like this one is also now available for adoption. Where'd it go? Right here. When the OLC is scratched from the clipboard, it means the adopter didn't follow through with the adoption, and the horse becomes available again. However, someone snatched this horse right away. Right after I filmed this, the BLM came and scratched it off from the list. This mare right here, 9320. She's a 7-year-old mare from McCullough Peaks, Wyoming, which is a more well-known, well-documented, photographed herd management area, or HMA. So chances are there are photographs of this mare out on range. She might even have a name. I'd be curious to do some more research on her background, but I just see here that she is a McCullough Peaks mare, so which makes me want to look more into that. I later searched her tag in HMA and found that she was named Lily. Anyway, moving on. So this fellow here is available for adoption. He was adopted, or he was going to go home, but sounds like it was an ordeal that he had in the chute, and he's become available for adoption again. Aw, sweet thing. 1588. Very cute horse. I think he would just do fine. Do just fine. Likes water. Oh, you want to go in that tub, don't you? Look at him. Actually, quite a few of them today I've noticed playing in the water as if they were like, let's go all the way in. Handsome boy. I don't think it necessarily foreshadows who he is going to be. No. You're cute. You're cute. baby. It was now time for the young Palomino to load, and she acted like quite the pro. The second horse loaded and off they went. So my flight, I just found out, got delayed. I won't be home until like 3 a.m. Yay! Next it was time for the Appy Mustang to go home. Burros? They gave the Mustang time to decompress before continuing to push it down the chute. I think that goes a long way. Have a napping burro over there. All right, moving on. In pen 6, these 4 right here are still available for adoption. These are the horses you saw at the beginning of the video when there was that stretch of no bids. Wow, that was loud. That was loud. You're very sweet. Hello, sir. Hello. Sweet. Very sweet boy. Hi. Oh, did you bang your eye? I find that quietly kneeling low can raise a lot of curiosity in the Mustangs. We're all taking turns inspecting. Hello, you feeling brave, sir? Hi, love. Hi. Aw, sweet boy. You want to hop in my carry-on? Oh, everyone's feeling very curious. Everyone's curious. Hi. Hi. Oh my goodness. Oh my. You guys. So beautiful. So once again, these four, this gentleman here, they're all available for adoption. This is the horse that you've been hearing, upset because it had just been separated from one of its buddies. Looks like hay is coming out. Alfalfa hay. Finally quieted. It had been quite a busy day of horses loading and going home. So this brand, it's called a phrase brand on the left side of the neck. With it you can read it, and it has information on their birth year, where they're processed, etc. And the last 4 digits are what is on the neck tag here. 7438. The first U-shaped marking on the Freeze brand indicates registration with the US government. The next 2, which I've highlighted in blue, show the birth year. You can see this horse was born in 2021. You can interpret these brands using the alpha angle system. At first glance, it's a little bit overwhelming, but I'll share the trick I used to learn it. I only worked on memorizing 2 of the symbols, and then from there, I could figure the rest out. I figured the 1 and 2 were most important to memorize because when you go to these adoption events, a 1 or a 2 will lead most brands because it covers horses born from 2010 and will continue to cover until the horse is born until 2029. Memorizing the 1 is easy, and then I just had to remember the 2 is in the upper left corner and work clockwise around. And that left the 0 for the equal sign. If I ever got a tattoo, it would probably be something to do with the alpha angle system. It's always so cool when you just kind of sit by their pens and watch them. It's just like, oh no, I just saw my flight has been canceled. What? Ugh. Guess I should check it out. You're so precious. Okay, so I actually flew in here from Vermont to Virginia this morning, and I was supposed to fly out tonight to go back home, and my flight already got delayed, and then now my connection flight is canceled, so I don't know if I'm spending the night in New York City or something. I don't know. Fresh alfalfa. All right, these guys are waiting for their alfalfa. All right, all the pens just got fresh alfalfa and water. Kids are hungry. These are the burros, and I believe they are all, or most all, are still available for adoption. The next day would be the last day of the adoption event, and the unadopted horses and burros would head back on a trailer to the Ewing facility in Illinois. This ends up being a stop to and from satellite adoption events on the East Coast because it's the furthest off-range holding corral on the East. So apparently I'm not leaving until tomorrow afternoon, which means I'm here for a while. But I feel so grateful because, you know, I had people just making sure that I was okay, and, you know, I had rides, and people here are really cool. Actually, someone I had connected with throughout the day was kind enough to come back and pick me up. The next day I was able to go to the adoption for a little bit before heading to the airport for my flight home. I really do enjoy these crazy tight pack trips, and I hope this video was helpful for you if you're considering adopting a Mustang. If you're going to any adoption events in the future, be sure to let me know. Maybe I'll be there. I am planning to go to the Ocala pickup in Florida and hope to go to a few others as well. What an ordeal getting back. My flights, I had like 3 delays and 2 cancels, and then I had a pretty long layover in New York City, and then leaving New York City to here, I sat on a plane for like 2.5 hours before we took off. So yeah, but funny thing is I ran into a high school classmate in New York City going on my flight back home to Vermont. So that was kind of fun. What are the chances? Jeez. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.